Alright guys, so welcome back to my NFL week predictions, which this season has been fucked in terms of predicting who could win what games, but now we move on to week 8. So let's get started with tomorrow's game, and that is the Ravens taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks, it's panic time, because you are a bunch of fucking frauds. I called it from the beginning. The offensive line is garbage. The wide receiver core is pretty weak, and Brady looks like Father Time has finally caught up to him. Yeah, I'm giving this to the Ravens because this is a team because this team is kind of be riding momentum after their win against the Browns. The Buccaneers are becoming more and more demoralized. You can see it, yeah, it's a short week for them, and they're already going to be, like, demoralized to begin with. So that's kind of the difference here, is that why I'm giving this to the Ravens is because while it's a short week for the Ravens, too, and they're going all the way to, you know, Raymond James to take on the Buccaneers, the difference here is that they're going to be riding momentum, and the Buccaneers are clearly spiraling out of control, and there's no way to stop it. So I'm going to give this one to the Ravens. Next up, we have literally a tank bowl. Broncos taking on Jacksonville. So the Broncos, you don't have Russell Wilson, and it hasn't really changed much either, even if you did. Jaguars do have some competition. Like, they aren't rolling over and dying like they did under the Urban Meyer era or previous eras. I'm actually going to give this to the Jaguars, because the Broncos are just that fucking bad. And, yeah. Broncos Nation, let's fucking die, right? Anyway, moving on now to the Dolphins and the Lions. Dolphins, you guys could have gone up to 19 to 2 scores, but for some reason McDaniels wanted to go for it on 4 and whatever. But you're playing a pretty weak team. You were trying to give that game away to the Steelers last week. You were trying to give that game away, but yeah, the Steelers clearly just suck that bad. Lions, you're the Lions. I'm sorry. I want to keep liking you, but the reasons to want to like the Lions are slowly decaying, and you're becoming, well, what you really are, the Lions. And yeah, Dolphins, I'm giving this one to you. So next up, we have an NFC South Division game with the Panthers taking on the Falcons. Panthers, you beat a rebuilding team and now have a shot to lead the division. It's the NFC South is that fucking bad. I may be part of the AFC South, which is pretty god-awful, but at least my team has, talent and also is competent. There's nothing good here in any of these teams. I am, however, giving this to the Falcons. Why? Because the Falcons aren't rolling over and dying every time they play a team. They're actually, like, putting fight into it. And, yeah, I think losing to both the Steelers and the Panthers proved that the Bucs are just that bad this season. And, yeah, the Panthers, while you did have a feel-good win, I don't think you're going to claim the division. I think it will be the Falcons' division. And that's still pretty sad. Moving right along to the Cardinals and the Vikings. Cardinals got a major win with DeAndre Hopkins back, but you still have a lot to answer for. You still have a lot. Vikings, I'm going to give this one to the Vikings because Kirk Cousins in non-prime time is quite literally somehow he has superpowers, and also he has Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. There's a lot of talent. It's just that Kirk Cousins is kind of the only kryptonite in this team, but the same can be said for Kyler Murray. The only difference is if the Vikings get tired of him, Kirk Cousins, it's only a one more year deal, and then they can go out and look for a real quarterback. But yeah, I'm giving this to the Vikings. They got a stronger defense. They got a stronger run game. Definitely stronger running game. But I do actually think this game is going to be this Cardinals-Vikings game is actually going to be entertaining. I do think that's going to be a thing. Next up, we have the Bears and Cowboys. Bears, did you like embarrassing the Patriots? Did you enjoy that? I actually enjoyed watching it. I'm happy for you. But that fun stops now, because now you're playing the Cowboys' defense. Notice how I'm not saying the Cowboys' offense, because, yeah, their offense is pretty mid. This team is literally being carried by defense and defense alone. So, yes, this is... I'm giving this to the Cowboys. I do think that last week's game for the Bears was a step in the right direction, but they're about to run into a buzzsaw with the Cowboys. Next up, we have the Saints and the Raiders. Ugh, bad coaching, bad QBs, bad schemes. This is just another tank bowl. This is just another god awful tank bowl for this. It's just this. Like I said, guys, this season has been so fucking poor on everything. This thing has been. It's just been god fucking awful all fucking around. I'm gonna give this. I honestly don't know who to give this to. I want to give it to the Raiders, but Josh McDaniels is so god-awful, he may give this game away. I'm going to give it slightly to the Raiders, because the Saints have just been terrible. They need a new quarterback, and they need a new coach. Anyway, so next up we have the Battle of Pennsylvania, with the Steelers taking on the Eagles. Eagles coming out of a bye week, and the Steelers... guys, the only bowl you're winning is the Tank Bowl. So yeah, the Eagles are coming out of a bye. This is going to be in This is going to be in the Eagles Stadium. I'm giving this to the Eagles. The Steelers may, the Steelers I do think are going to put up a fight, but then there's no high-end talent. There's nothing here. The Eagles I think are just going to fly over them. But yeah. Steelers go Super Bowl. Yeah. Anyway. Next up is a very interesting game, because this is proving ground for one team. The Jets taking on the Patriots. Jets, I am going to say this right now. I'm giving this to the Jets, and I'm going to tell you why I'm giving this to the Jets. Reason being, while Zach Wilson isn't a good QB, there are pieces around him. That defense is still good. They've also, while they did lose Bryce Hall for the season, they got Allen Robinson, who is a very underrated running back, in my opinion. And that kind of shows me that they literally know what they're doing. Like, this is proving ground for the Jets. If they beat the one team out of every team that has slapped them with their dicks, it's the Patriots. And remember, they're about to hit a gauntlet. Patriots, Bills, and then the Patriots again. This is now proving ground for the Jets. And yeah, again, going out and addressing an issue proves to me that they want to have a winning season. They want to have a shot at the playoffs. And honestly, they probably can. So I am giving this to the Jets, multiple reasons. The offense and defense against the Bears last night was fucking atrocious. Yeah, atrocious. I can't talk. Neither Bailey Zappi or Mac Jones looked any good. Any fucking good. And Bill Belichick is clearly unable to see that. No one wants to address that. It's got a QB controversy written all over it. Yeah. And the Jets are this is a new kind of Jets team. And again, going out and quickly addressing problems rather than just being like, oh, I guess we'll just, do something else because we lost our... I guess we'll just fold instantly like the Steelers did after they lost TJ Watt. I guess we'll just do that. Nope. Went out and grabbed not only a running back, but one that is really underrated and actually really fucking good. So that kind of tells me that this team is looking to make a statement, and they're gonna they want to make a statement out of the motherfucker who has literally just been mushroom stamping them for like 2 decades, even longer. Anyway, give this to the Jets. I never thought I'd say that in my life. Anyway. Moving on now to my Tennessee Titans taking on the Houston Texans. You're the Texans. Enough said. Tighten up. Next up, we have the Giants and the Seahawks. This is actually going to be an interesting game. Who thought we would have two teams that literally we thought would be tanking are now like at least look like they're playoff bound right now. The Giants have a efficient coach. They have an efficient offensive line and defense. I think I'm going to give this one to the Giants, but I do see the Seahawks with Geno Smith, and it's becoming very clear. The more we watch Geno play under Pete Carroll, the more it's becoming clear that maybe it really was Russ who was the problem in Seattle. And they're probably going to get a top 5 draft pick from the Broncos for the next 2 years because of this trade. Yeah, they're going to have a top 5 draft and still have a high-ranking one of their own in the draft. So yeah, Giants. I'm giving this one to the Giants, but I do see the Seahawks putting up a fight. This is one of those games where it could go either way, but I am giving this one to New York. The reason being is because this team is it's like again with the Jets, is that this is a team that is literally addressing issues and also putting up a solid defense and offense. Daniel Jones isn't doing anything impressive, but he's clearly more competent than he was under Joe Judge and others. This clearly shows that Brian Daboll is a very competent coach, and this is a guy who I would really love to see get Coach of the Year. Anyway, moving on now to the Washington Commanders taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Colts, you're about to play your next QB in the QB carousel. That's right, bring up Sam Ehlinger. Yeah, sorry, Matt. Wish you could do better, but yeah. I am going to give this to the Colts because the Commanders are that bad. I don't know. I still don't know how they beat the Packers. I really don't. Anyway, so next up we have the LA Rams taking on the 49ers. Rams and 49ers, it's really hard to tell. I think I am going to give this to the 49ers on a few grounds. Grounds being that this is a team that, while they are injured, the Rams have done nothing. They have literally done jack shit on offense, defense, any of that. They have clearly shown that going all in is now coming back to bite them in the ass. It's becoming very fucking apparent that they literally did not think for the future. They didn't think about, win this game, then, plan for the future. They didn't plan for any of this shit. They were actually still hoping for OBJ to come back, and he's still up in the air. So, yeah. I'm giving this one to the 49ers. They now have Christian McCaffrey, and while they got their ass handed to them by the Chiefs, it's the Chiefs. Yeah, so if I was a 49ers fan, I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet because you literally just got your ass stomped by one of the 3 teams that are literally the only good teams, who you could consider really good teams in the NFL, like juggernauts. So yeah, I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet, but it's time to kind of fight back for. But now with the Seahawks, the fucking Seahawks, to get back in contention with them for the NFC West. All right, let's move on to our next game, and that is our Sunday night game, and that is the Packers taking on the Buffalo Bills. Bills coming off of a bye week, and the Packers tail spinning out of control after losing the Giants, Jets, and Commanders. Holy shit, it is panic time, because now you are going into Buffalo after the team has come off of a bye week. It's going to be cold, and guess what, assholes? The Bills are going to make a fucking statement out of you. They are going to literally destroy you on national television. I'm not joking. This is probably going to be a slaughter. Now, the Packers could put up a fight. There's always that, but they have done nothing. Aaron Rodgers is throwing hero ball after hero ball. He's only also throwing to Randall Cobb, who's injured now. Alan Lazard, and literally none of the receivers can catch the shit. And the defense, jumping Jesus, the defense is just horrendous. Special teams, I don't know what's going on there. They seem to have some thought of what's going on. But the Bills, Coming out of a bye week, they got some returning pieces off of the IR. Yeah. I prepare to have your dick stomped, Green Bay. You earned this because you have done nothing. You had all these chances in the playoffs to make it to the Super Bowl and at least get Aaron Rodgers, at the bare minimum, 2 more rings. Or the chance to get 2 more rings. And prove that, like, he's worthy of his back-to-back MVP status. But that's gone. That's gone. One more time, so you under-fucking-stand. Gone. Presto changeo. Gone. David Blaine couldn't explain that shit. Yeah. Bill's Mafia is about to teabag you into fucking oblivion. Anyway, let's talk about our last game, and that's Monday night's game between the Bengals and the Browns. Browns, you're garbage. You're just bad, and you don't. And I don't even think Deshaun Watson is going to save you at all. In fact, I know he's not. Bengals are now running hot again, even though they did lose. They are now back, and the Ravens and the Bengals are the only 2 teams that are going to be wrestling for the NFC South. I mean, the AFC South. AFC North. Bleh. AFC North is really only the Bengals and the Ravens. Browns, yeah, have fun giving your draft picks away to the Texans. Anyway, the Bengals are going to go, who dey, bitch. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much my NFL Week 8 predictions. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.